OU fans, it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Actually, you know what? I don't know if it's going to be okay. It doesn't seem like it's going to be okay right now. However, I've seen a lot of people that are very basically throwing out the season, giving the season away, saying it's over and that there's no hope for this team. Rattler is not good. Lincoln needs to go. You know, we have overreacted a little bit, I think, but I can't defend some points. However, I thought, I haven't seen anybody give an optimist side to the season yet. So I'm just going to try to make a quick video giving the optimist side, just for kicks. So let's look at some of the facts to see, is our season really over? So what's the facts? We're 3-0. Okay? We have played 3 games. We've won 3 games. And they didn't look pretty, but at the end of the day, we've won 3 games. So if I would have asked you at the beginning of the season, what do we need to do through 3 games to remain eligible for the playoffs? The answer would be win 3 games, right? You can't lose one of those 3 non-con games and still, it might have happened, but it'd been really, really, really tough to still make the playoffs. But we don't have to worry about that because we've won our 3 non-conference games. That's a fact. You can't deny that, okay? What's another fact? Our defense has looked pretty good. When you look at the stats, I know the first game, they gave up 30 to Tulane. I get it. But ever since then, they have played well. They pitched a shutout. When has that happened? And then they play Nebraska tough. Defense looks like they're going to be good. The defensive line looks like they're going to be one of the best in the country. That's a fact. Our defense has looked good. Another fact that makes me optimist for the season is no one really else in the country has just looked like world beaters. Alabama has looked good. Don't get me wrong. They have not looked Alabama good. Now, there is a difference. Regular good for Alabama is still probably twice as good as any other team. I get it. But Alabama really good is, unbeatable pretty much. Last year's Alabama. They've lost Mac Jones. They've lost their offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian. They've brought in Bill O'Brien, who got fired. You don't know if he's really that good. You just don't know. They have a freshman quarterback. They are not going to be a world-beating Alabama team. They still might be the best team in the league. They still might be the best team in the country, but they're not going to be the Alabama of old. Outside of them, you got Georgia. You've got Oregon. There's some other teams in there that are going to make a push. But, man, I don't see a team out there right now that I'm just like, man, they have just impressed me so much with how good they are. Clemson's down this year. Ohio State's down this year. If OU is going to win a national championship, this is the year it needs and should happen. Because I don't know if there's going to be an easier path because the Big 12, there's not another team with Iowa State losing. There's not another team that should pose an issue for you. Now, we may make an issue out of a team, but they shouldn't pose an issue out of themselves. So the Big 12 should be easy to run through. Texas has already got a loss. They've got a new coach. They've got new quarterback, new coordinators. So the Big 12 should be easy to win. Should be easy to make the playoffs. We have non-conference games, which unranked non-conference games. We won those, which we did what we should. And, there is not a team right now that just absolutely scares me. And people are probably going to be in the comments, man, have you not been watching Bama? I have. I get it. They beat Florida by, they're undefeated and they beat a good ranked Florida team. But you can't deny they do not look as good as they have in years past. We've proved that we can play with the Georgia team, and I don't think this year's Georgia team is as good as the Georgia team in 2017, okay? Oregon, they looked good against Ohio State. They got to win. I get it. I can't see Oregon making the playoffs. I just can't. I feel like they're going to lose to someone in the Pac-12. I don't know who. The Pac-12 is not very good. Maybe they lose to UCLA. I don't know. I don't see them making the playoffs. So when I look at it, I think there's been a lot of teams, ranked teams, that have barely beaten unranked teams this year. It's been weird. It's been a weird year. And OU's a part of that. I'm not denying that. But it seems like that's kind of this current right now that it seems to be what people are doing. You know, when you have a ranked team that's playing an unranked team, they don't look very good. So I think that we're 3-0. Defense has looked good. And most importantly, I don't think there's really very many good teams out there, or really good teams, I should say. There's good teams out there, but really good teams. I think we have a really good chance to win a national championship because our offense is going to get figured out. Lincoln's going to figure that out. The defense is good. I'm not going to say they're great or top 10 in the country. That defensive line is, but the defense as a whole, I don't think is. But they're still going to be good. Offense is going to get figured out, and there's just not a whole lot of really good teams out there. We can do it. I know I'm in the minority right now. I don't feel good about the last 3 games at all, but I'm not giving up. I'm not losing hope. I think we're going to win a national championship this year, and I'm saying it now. You're going to come back here in January, and you're going to be like, you know what? Josh was right. So, anyways, that's it for this video. We're dropping a new podcast on the Divided Duo podcast tomorrow morning, so check that out. Y'all have a good day, and Boomer Sooner.